Hey, what's up guys, it's your boy Tweedy. I'm a professional Mortal Kombat player out of the United States. Some of my accomplishments, I've medaled at 2 EVOs, I've won Combo Breaker 2018, and I've made multiple World Finals, and today I'm going to be showing you how to fight against Frost. Before we start, be sure to subscribe to DashFight for more character guides and check out their website for all things FGC. So today we're talking about how to fight against Frost. A little background about the character: she is a Lin Kuei warrior who first made an appearance in Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. Mortal Kombat 11 is the first time she has been a playable character since Mortal Kombat Armageddon. In this game, she is a slow character with good hitboxes and intimidating projectiles, and today I will be showing you general strategies versus her, along with tips against her most commonly equipped variation moves. In general, Frost is a very slow character. As you can see, her dashes are quite slow compared to the rest of the cast. She does not possess wave dashing capabilities that you see higher level players use with characters such as Fujin and Kotal Kahn. Her buttons are also quite slow. Her fastest poke is 8 frames, which is below average among the cast. So when you're in a situation where you're not very minus 0 or slightly plus on block, Frost players are going to have to respect you more than players of other characters will. She has a decent projectile game with her back 4-3 and her down back 2, which can be aimed short, mid, or far. These projectiles are both highs and have very high hitboxes, so be careful trying to gain ground by jumping. These will often catch jumps. Instead, use the slow speed of them to dash or walk in while reacting to the startup of either. In either case, you'll have to release, block, and duck to make them completely whiff, as you can see with Geras here. They both completely whiff on a ducking opponent that's not blocking. But also be ready to hold block again in case of an enhanced back 4-3, which adds 4 mid projectiles to the move. Also keep in mind that if you're using a character with a long range punish like Geras Sand Trap, Johnny or Jade Shadow Kick, Liu Kang Flying Kick, Fujin 4-3, and there's many more examples, that you can actually punish her projectile after ducking it from certain ranges. So with Geras, for example, I can punish it from right here with the mid sand trap, and I can punish it from right here, I believe, with the far, yes, from, but you can't do it from full screen, just from like this range and this range, not from full screen though. And that's, in general, most of the cast, that's how it is. You're not going to be able to flying kick punish it from full screen, not going to be able to shadow kick Fujin 4-3, but you normally can punish from about mid range. And some stuff like Geras Sand Trap, Liu Kang Flying Kick can punish from this range. So that's something Frost has to respect if you're using one of those characters. And that's something you should keep in mind if you want to abuse Frost's weaknesses at a high level. So Frost is a character that doesn't have definitive variations that the competitive community uses. She's a character that people tend to mix and match with, using a combination of Ice Auger, Microburst, Ice Quake, Auger Lunge, and Cryogenic Crown. Ice Quake is a dive bomb that either hits mid or low depending on the range. As you can see, hitting up close, it's a mid, and when she does it far away, it actually, hold on, let me step back. When she does it far, it actually becomes a low. Now the thing about this is when it hits mid, it's actually punishable. As you can see at the bottom right there, it's -16. It varies depending on the range, but when it's a mid, it's punishable. But when it hits far enough to be a low, it actually becomes safe at -7. Now Geras, Sub-Zero, and a few other characters have a 6 frame down one that can punish that, but regardless, it's safe from full combos when it's a low. Now the way you want to combat this is you want to always be blocking low, not only because it can either be a low or a mid, not an overhead, but because it actually reduces the pushback when it's a mid when you block crouching. So it always becomes punishable by characters' jabs, because it's always more than -7 or -8 when it's a mid. Now when it's a low, you might notice she has to do it from far out, so you have a couple different options against it. You can react and flawless block it, which actually makes it way more negative, as you can see, -17 there instead of -7. Or you could react and maybe jump it, and she's very negative on whiff. So those are some options to shut down that move. It's a very low reward, high risk move for Frost if someone knows it. If someone doesn't know it, it's very low risk because they don't know those things I just told you. So as long as you know how to abuse the move, like I just showed you there. The move is not very good, and you should be able to punish it most of the time. Now on to Cryogenic Crown. This is a ground bomb with a delayed explosion. Similar to something you might see from Cyrax in past Mortal Kombat games, the difference here is that the move is a mid-attack instead of a lower or unblockable, so you can minimize your defensive options and cover basically anything that she can mix you up with. The Frost might try to grab you into the bomb, since you obviously cannot block while being grabbed. This can be remedied by simply jumping when you predict that the Frost will do this. You can get a full combo punish. The Frost can counteract this by either baiting and anti-airing you, or throwing out something quick to keep you in place, leading to a freeze. I did that wrong. My suggestion would be to narrow it down to either jumping or blocking, based on whether you think the Frost will read your jump out or not. If you think the Frost is going to try to grab you into it, jump out. If you think she's going to do anything to stop you from doing that, just block. It's a mid, so you're safe. So that's how I would defend against this move. There's nothing really to say about Auger Lunge or Micro Burst. They're mostly used as combo starters or enders in the case of Auger Lunge. Auger Lunge could be used as a risky option to blow up people ducking your projectiles or to extend conversions, but this is a how to fight Frost guide, not a how to use Frost guide, so we won't touch on that. Dealing with Ice Auger, though, can be pretty tricky due to its active frames and big pushback on block. Frost players love to throw it out on block since they're generally safe and add chip in mind games. Regular Auger on block is minus enough to take your turn back, either with a mid or dash up poke. But EX Auger on block actually is less minus than regular, and there's more pushback, so the Frost has mind games there. Some characters, you know, they might have something long enough and quick enough to take the turn back, but in the case of Geras, you can see my forward 3 actually whiffs after EX Auger. So the Frost could backdash and whip punish me. She could maybe jump. She could do. There's mind games there. But a trick to stopping that is you can actually floss block the second Auger. Keep in mind though, with big characters like Geras, you actually have to stand block the first Auger to create more pushback to where you can floss block it. And as you can see, it went from -4 to -9. So from there, I can definitely forward 4. I can definitely dash up poke, and I could punish it with, I messed it up there. I could actually punish it with my up 2. Most up 2s in the game can punish that, some can't, like, I'm pretty sure Robocop's can is too short, but in general, you're going to make it less minus by floss blocking it, and a lot of the cast, like female characters, and Johnny Cage and Joker, they can actually duck the first Auger off of strings, so you can either release duck and try to punish him, or throw in a poke like Johnny's down 4 or something like that. So those are your best options against Auger on block. Make sure you keep these things in mind, because without these strategies, Auger on block is very strong and very hard to deal with. So a couple tips of what not to do against Frost is I wouldn't tech throws very much against her for a couple reasons. Number one is she has throw crushing blows from both sides. There's her forward throw one, and then she has a back throw crushing blow. So if you get one escape failed, she has the option to mix you up and get 30% off a throw from either direction. And also, as you can see with Frost, when she throws you, she gets no pressure off of them. See how it throws them far away? And her back throws like that as well. So if you're a character that outzones Frost, or if you have a life lead and can trade, it's better to just take the throw against her, honestly, because she doesn't get any pressure. So if Frost is trying to make a comeback and she throws you, I mean, you're far away. You can throw a projectile, you can keep that life lead, or if you outzone her, you're going to be at advantage anyways. So try to not tech too much versus Frost. Just take the throw, or maybe make a jump or duck read, but definitely don't tech, because then you're going to be in trouble with those throw crushing blows if you're wrong. The next thing is Frost is one of the best anti-airs in the game with her down 3, and the reason being is because it's very fast. It's 8 frames. It's got 3 active frames, which is good for a poke. Most pokes have around 1 or 2. So 3 active frames, and it lowers her box like crazy, as you can see. Like, she actually like lowers to the ground completely. So I would not jump too much versus Frost. Obviously, earlier we went over how her projectiles, they have a high hitbox, so you don't want to jump against those. You also don't want to jump up close because of her down 3. You mostly want to play a ground game against Frost, so yeah, I would Don't tech throws and don't jump. Those are my two biggest tips against a character. Now I'm going to be showing you gaps in Frost strings that can be flawless blocked and punished. Some of these include 1-3-4, 1-3-2. And the cool thing about 1-3-4 and 1-3-2 is the last hit have a 1-frame difference, and since flawless blocking is a 3-frame window, you can actually flawless block both at the same time with the right timing. Back to 2 is another string, and back 3-2 is another string. Frost is a very gap-filled character, as you can see, and you can also interrupt her 3-4-4 before the 2, or 3-4-4-2 before the 2 with your jab or poke. Keep in mind, after she does 3-4-4, she could do a special, so it might be safer to poke, but either way, you can interrupt. So she's a very gap-filled character, and using these tips, she's going to have to stay solid with back 1-2, and be very careful when she uses her other strings, because you'll be able to blow up the gaps. If you want recommendations on characters that are very strong against Frost, I would suggest Cetrion, since she completely outzones Frost, and due to her slowness, she has trouble getting in. I would also recommend Fuji and Liu Kang, since they can punish your projectiles from pretty far out. They're very good at getting in general, and up close they can bully her pretty bad. So in general, Frost is a slow character with a lot of gaps. She's a character you don't want to be jumping against due to her powerful anti-airs and high hitbox projectiles. If you play a strong ground game and abuse these weaknesses I've shown you today, you should be able to improve your results against this character drastically. You can also check out all the things shown in this video in the text version via the link in the description. If you like this video, please leave a like or comment below with your thoughts. Thank you for watching.